Have you ever felt like a failure after scrolling on social media and seeing somebody that is significantly younger than you achieve so much than you that you ever maybe did in your whole life? They have everything you have ever wanted: success, money, respect, and power. They live in your dream house. They drive your dream car. They are collaborating with brands that you can't even afford with your fully monthly income.
He was just a baby in diapers when he started correcting other people's grammar.
At the age of 6 years old, I became named one of the youngest self-made millionaires in the US. Now I'm 15 and I have 3 companies.
I don't want to fit into a box. I don't want to be a genre. You can get any inspiration from anything. To write a song, to make a shirt, to come up with a video.
At the beginning, it was all about admiring them and taking them as an inspiration and being motivated by seeing them. You start to follow them on social media. You start to check their content and you follow them maybe on a daily basis. And since they motivate you in a very good way, you start to work harder and harder so that you can be maybe like them in one day. But after a while, you start to realize that results won't show up. Maybe there are some small results, but when you compare to them, there is nothing like their success. You start to compare your achievements to theirs, and you see the significant difference between you and them. You might start to feel jealous, or you might start to feel like a failure, or you might even start to feel like very left behind in life. I'm sorry to tell you, but if you have this mindset right now, you're likely to fail. I'm going to explain in this video why and how to change this mindset. This video is probably going to be the most important video that I ever uploaded on this platform, so I literally beg you to watch this video until the end. The society put us a pressure to be constantly successful. We have to know what to do with our life, even if we are significantly young. We have to know what to do and who to contact and the exact action plan and all that stuff. But when talking realistically about this circumstance, it is completely normal for you to not know what to do next. Everybody has moments in their life that they feel lost and left behind. Maybe not even moments though, maybe decades or something, and that's completely normal. When talking about the pressure that society puts us to be constantly successful, let's start from here. What is success? How do we define success? What is the meaning of being successful? In most of the cases, being successful means that you achieving your dreams, goals, having the money, being respected from the people who are around you, and being maybe good for the society, and enjoying your life to fully potential. When we start to compare ourselves to people who are successful, we are likely to overlook two things: unfair advantages and the iceberg illusion. Let's talk about unfair advantages. I'm gonna take a lot of quotes from my all-time favorite book, Unfair Advantages. So if you haven't read the book yet, I beg you to stop this video and order that book and read it immediately, because that book is gonna change your life and your mindset like it did to mine. Okay, promise? So a little question before starting to talk about it. Do you believe that life is fair? Stop this video and please comment. I'm gonna tell you my opinion. And life is unfair. Life is so unfair. And I am not the only one who thinks in this way. I'm a young, white educated male. I got really, really lucky. And life isn't fair. Those are the words of Evan Spiegel, the billionaire co-founder of Snapchat. So basically, Evan Spiegel grew up in a multi-million-dollar house in Los Angeles. His parents were very successful and famous lawyers who were dealing with very big and global countries in dealing with their issues. And he got the best education in this world, and his mentor was co-founder of Intuit, Scott Cook. He had the best education. His parents were also educated. They had money. They were multi-millionaires. He had the networking. He was healthy. And he had every single opportunity in his life. And he used these unfair advantages. And he became successful in life. After hearing his background, you might think that, of course, he is going to be successful. I don't have these unfair advantages. I can never, ever be like him. And that is not true. Actually, there is a way for everyone to be successful. You might still thinking that life is so unfair and it's gonna never change. Yes, that's true. Life is always gonna be unfair. We should always increase the amount of the fairness in the society. But when we think about the humans and the human condition, and biases that we have, life is probably, well, never ever be fair. So how can we be successful in this such an unfair world? Please don't tell me that you still believe that hard work is only way to achieve success, because it's not, and it's time to change your mind on that. Success is not simply awarded to the hardest workers. It is awarded to those who develop and use their unfair advantages. This is a quote from the Unfair Advantages book by Unfair Advantage. We do not mean an unethical or illegal advantage. An unfair advantage is competitive upper hand, your set of unfair advantages that is unique to you. It's not one that is earned or worked for. So let's take a very simple example from social media. From influencers, maybe being pretty is a significant unfair advantage that you can use. It does not necessarily mean that if you don't fit into current beauty standards, you cannot be successful as influencer or something. But if you're pretty, if you're considered to be pretty, it's more likely for you to succeed because you have that unfair advantage. It's same like being tall as a basketball player. Of course, there are short basketball players that are very successful, but if you are tall, you have that unfair advantage. In that area, you know, life isn't fair. But if you use the unfairness of the life as an excuse to have a victim mindset, to stop yourself from striving, to achieve your goals, to make your dreams a reality, then you're only shooting yourself in the foot. If we want to be successful in our lives, we have to find our unfair advantages, and we have to work the system instead. So how can we exactly do that? Actually, in the Unfair Advantage book, they're explaining the Miles framework. So these are the unfair advantages that you can use in your life. So M is money. Money is the capital you have, or that you can easily raise. I is intelligence and insight. Intelligence and insight includes book smarts, social and emotional intelligence, as well as creativity. L is location and luck, but I would also add looks. And because in today's world and in life, some businesses, it's really important to have good looks. Location and luck is all about being in the right place at the right time. And the E is education and expertise. Education and expertise is both your formal schooling and also your self-learning, which gives the intellectual and technical know-how. S is status. Status is your social status. It's your personal brand, including your network and connections. In other words, how you're perceived. It also includes your inner studies, which is your confidence and self-esteem. While listening to these, you might think like, I do not have any unfair advantage in my life. But first thing first, that is impossible, because everything can be your unfair advantage. These are just like the main things that you can consider as an unfair advantage. But if you know how to create and use your unfair advantages, everything can be your unfair advantage. But the thing is, unfair advantages are a double-edged sword. If you know how to use it, it can be beneficial for you. It can be life-changing for you. But if you don't know how to use it, it can also damage your life too. So, other thing that people overlook is the iceberg illusion. All people see is the success of someone. So the tip of the iceberg, but do not see all the stages of mistakes, persistence, failures, etc. So the lower half of the iceberg, under the water, we do not see what people go through to achieve a success, which is the stages of a growth mindset. Maybe in your current life, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, and maybe you don't know the bottom of the iceberg, that people struggled. Or maybe you didn't know anything about unfair advantages, and maybe you didn't know how to use your unfair advantages, and that's completely normal. But I hope that you can change your mindset in this way and start to work on yourself, because you can create unfair advantages. You can use your unfair advantages and maximize your success in life. The last thing that I would say is, never give up on your dreams. Don't work only hard. Work hard and smart.